Good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Go Home Club, and today we'll be sharing more about JoblessGoWhere. This video will first briefly describe how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected Singaporeans, after which we'll discuss the problems faced by residents which arose from the pandemic. Finally, our team will introduce JoblessGoWhere, a platform that helps job hunters find the best learning resources for their needs. On January 23, 2020, Singapore confirmed their first COVID-19 patient. At the same time, the COVID-19 pandemic was rapidly sweeping across the world. This deadly disease affected people's livelihood tremendously, causing businesses to shut down, some temporarily but others permanently. Global economies were disrupted and many countries plunged into recessions. Let's take a closer look at how this pandemic has affected Singapore's economy. More and more patients were being reported in Singapore as the COVID-19 situation got worse. This prompted the government to take drastic actions. On the 4th of March, Singapore closed its borders to any short-term visitors around the world. On 26 March, entertainment venues were closed and large gatherings were restricted. On 7th April, PM Lee Hsien Loong implemented the circuit breaker stay-home order. This led to drastic and dire effects on Singapore's economy. Due to Singapore's reliance on global trade, in the second quarter of this year, our economy incurred a 13.3% year-on-year fall in GDP, which was worse than the forecasted figures. This further deepened Singapore's recession and affected many businesses island-wide. Closure of businesses also caused a wide spread of retrenchment, causing employment in Singapore to decrease by a whopping 57,000. This is a record high drop since the 2003 SARS outbreak. This impact was felt most in industries relying on tourism and international trade. The total number of unemployment residents reached 11 and 12,000, of which 97,000 were Singaporeans.
As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, the lives of Singaporeans, regardless of age or job experience, changed for the worse. Firstly, fresh graduates find themselves having difficulties securing their first job as companies are cutting costs due to the worsened economy. As a result, many companies have reduced their vacancies for full-time positions. Moreover, many employed workers were also retrenched, hence Singaporeans being unable to find employment. Secondly, despite the increase in popularity of online learning resources, Singaporeans are still facing decision paralysis due to the wide plethora of options available. Even after having access to many useful resources on the internet, job seekers are unsure of where to even begin. These problems inspired the development of JoblessGoWhere. JoblessGoWhere will be mainly targeting people who are unemployed, those seeking job opportunities and looking for ways to upgrade their skill sets. This will include fresh graduates looking to enter the workforce for the first time, as well as unemployed Singaporeans who are actively seeking employment. Additionally, a smaller segment of our target users include those considering to switch industries and are unsure of the relevant resources. Our team has identified 4 main user requirements. Firstly, users need to find the most relevant courses to them. These courses will be applicable to their industry of interest, work experience, and current process skill sets. Next, they will require easy access to these courses to minimize any difficulties sourcing for them on the internet. Moving on, users need useful data that will give them a better understanding of their industry so that they will be kept informed of their current employment outlook. Lastly, they need platform security, the assurance that their private information will be kept safe and not exploited.
Now, let's meet Tom, a recent fresh graduate from NUS School of Computing, hoping to find a job in the ICT and media industry. He hopes to better his chances by upgrading his current skill sets by enrolling in some relevant courses. He knows of the many platforms like Coursera and EDX available, but is unsure of which courses are relevant to him and where to begin his search. Thus, he decided to try JoblessGoWhere. So let's follow Tom on his journey. When Tom first embarks on his journey with JoblessGoWhere, he'll reach our landing page. The landing page will have a navigation bar with a login icon at the top right that allows existing users to be directed to the login page. But let's come back to this later. The landing page will introduce JoblessGoWhere and how it works, along with an eye-catching Get Started button that will bring users to start on the onboarding quiz. Further down, there will be insights provided on Singapore's current economic trends. This will be done through an interactive dashboard with a line graph showing recent job employment and retrenchment trend, and a bar graph showing recent university course graduates. These data are up-to-date collected from data.gov.sg, and this will allow Tom to understand Singapore's current economy at a glance. The landing page was designed to be user-friendly to ensure users like Tom are not confused and can navigate through our site effortlessly. To start the questionnaire, users will be first asked which stage in life they are at. Hence, Tom will select the Fresh Graduate option. He can monitor his progress through the quiz with the progress bar shown below, which will be updated as he answers each question. The goal of including a progress bar is to keep completion rates high as users move from page to page. By assuring users that they are making progress, they will be more motivated to keep clicking through to complete the survey. The next question allows Tom to indicate his industry of interest. This will be done through a drop-down list displaying the industries available in Singapore. Moving on, Tom will be asked which skill sets he has already possessed. This is done through another drop-down list displaying the skill sets relevant to the industry that he previously selected. Users will be able to select more than one skill set and deselect wrong answers. Lastly, Tom will be asked which courses he has already completed. This will be done in the same format as the previous question. Once Tom is done with the questionnaire, he'll be recommended three courses following an algorithm based on his questionnaire inputs.
The recommendation algorithm is as follows. We will filter the courses in our database by user industry. Then, we will filter for courses which teach skills not possessed by users. Next, we will filter out courses that users have already done. If there are no suitable courses, we will recommend 3 default options. Otherwise, we will randomly sample 3 courses from the list of courses for the recommendation. Tom can also navigate to the respective site offering the course by clicking on the course icon. At this stage, we made it mandatory for users like Tom to create an account in order to save the recommended courses for future reference. To create an account with us, Tom will need to input an email address that has not been previously registered, a username, and a password. If any of the fields are detected to be invalid, the page will return an error message and Tom will have to make the necessary amendments. For example, we used regular expressions to ensure that the email is legitimate. Tom's user information will be saved securely in our Firestore, and this would prevent his personal information from being exploited by other users. After creating an account, Tom will be brought to his profile page where his username and chosen industry will be displayed. Information about his chosen industry will be presented to Tom in another interactive dashboard. This will show the number of people in his industry over the years, the skill sets in the industry and Tom's mastery of them, and lastly, a general overview of the popularity of the industries amongst JoblessGoWhere users. This way, users like Tom are able to visualize the employment trends of their industry of interest, and Tom is now able to gain better insights on his industry of choice and his recommended courses. Further down the profile page, Tom will be able to see his recommended courses with their course descriptions. To improve user experience, when users click on the Start button, they will be directed to the respective platform website offering this course. This is to ensure seamless and fast-free user experience on JoblessGoWhere, as users need not manually search for the respective courses on the internet. Tom is now ready to utilize the resources recommended by JoblessGoWhere. He can log out of his account through the logout icon on the navigation bar. Should Tom wish to go back to his account, he can log back into his account through the login page accessible from the navigation bar. Tom just has to enter his email address and password to be brought back to his account. This way, Tom can revisit his JoblessGoWhere account whenever he needs to. With this, we've come to the end of the video. We hope you now have a better understanding of JoblessGoWhere. Thank you.